thunder. It's Topic Thunder. Just acknowledge it, knowledge with no scholarships. It's Topic Thunder. It's Topic Thunder. Breaking everything down, tech to politics. It's Topic Thunder. It's Topic Thunder. We don't tell you what you want, we just give you what you need. It's Topic Thunder. It's Topic Thunder. News, brews, and views from these Chi-Town streets. Topic Thunder.
You heard the man they call Biz, ladies and gentlemen. It is Topic Thunder, setting sail from the decks of the USS Rapapa. We are what we call the Internet Saloon. And if you've been around, then you know what this is all about. And if you're new, joining us on Twitch, Facebook, the YouTubes, anywhere on the internet's this dimension or others, as you well know, multiple dimensions exist. Welcome to what we call, again, the Internet Saloon. Ben and I, by the way, that's Ben down there. I'm Broox. I'm up there. And this way, ladies and gentlemen, is the world's most dangerous chat room. We call it the Thunderdome. It is the lifeblood of this show, as Ben and I sling stories out there for everybody to boomerang back to us with their thoughts, and discussion ensues. It's like a saloon. Gather around, as which is the slogan for Bonfire Brewery, which is in Eagle, Colorado. Really good people, and that leads us right into the next segment, ladies and gentlemen. Going to share with you what I was drinking on New Year's Eve. Treated myself to, as we all know, I like a little scotch. I like an Isla scotch, that smoky, really kind of, again, we describe, mermaid barbecue kiss, that kind of thing, right? Lavagoulin's the king, in my opinion, of as far as my budget level goes, of this. And I treated myself to the Nick Offerman version.
Ooh,
and
I love
concept.
Nick Offerman.
So here it is. It's an 11-year-old nice stiff Scotch whiskey from our good friends at Lavagoulin, which is featured on a couple different like internet travel and streaming travel shows. This area of Scotland is amazing, and they to get this smoky flavor that they have, they're literally digging up peat moss from like swamps. And it's like they're farming it, and that's what they use. They set it on fire, and then they cool it, and then they throw all the cool grains and everything. That's you get that smoky flavor. It's an amazing process. Let me describe how they describe the flavor. It's like Inception. Pungent, peaty, woody, and spicy. Are those like elves or dwarves?
Right. Those are Nick Offerman's elves.
Not pungent and peaty and woody and spicy. Flavors of coca and sweet berry notes. Chocolatey and warming on the palate with a lingering and spicy finish.
There's a lot going on there. Chocolatey, spicy, fruity,
and pungent and peaty and woody and spicy.
There's a lot going on there, man. It just seems like a lot for liquor.
Just that, and that's why you can't that's why you have to sip it. That's why.
Yeah, it's like a shot, but you can't really go at it like a shot. It's a sipping shot.
That's a bad approach.
That's a bad approach.
It burns enough going down when you sip it. I don't know what it's like to do a shot of this. Like it'd be like buying like a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue, which is famously like $200 a bottle or something like that. Be like, hey, let's do shots. You'd be like, that's a fool's, like, you're not only wasting money, but that's a potent alcohol. So you sip this, and truth be told, I like mine not so neat. So I put a splash or two of water in there. I'm in that camp again. We've described where that water brings out a little more flavor. So here, cheers, everybody.
In about 40 minutes, Brooks should be rip roaring ready to go by lightning round time.
Oh man, and that's if I wasn't pre-gaming, which there's no record that I wasn't. But hey, let's I don't know. Is anything going on lately? What? Surely not a whole lot has happened in the last week since we kind of sat around here, right? Oh, wait. Yeah. Something really weird happened today, didn't it, Ben?
Yeah, dude, this air travel thing, we're inching closer and closer to getting people to be on board for high speed rail. If air travel continues to be the mess that it is, more and more people are going to be able at least open to the idea of doing high speed rail in this country.
You know, Ben, this is former governor of Minnesota, Jesse the Body Ventura, and I'm letting you know this is a plan of the Biden administration because Joe loves railroads so much, and he wants to put railroads everywhere. And I'm gonna put you in the camel clutch. No, thank you, Jesse. Thank you. Dr. Ventura. But no, something really weird happened with
this is not good. This is not good. If you're talking about we're entering times where we may have like a wartime type situation. This is something that we may want to pay attention to because this is a big deal.
And bonus points for longtime listeners of the show for being able to go, wait, they've been talking about this weird internet cyber activity for a long time.
A long time.
I
would not stop bringing up stories about it for a while.
There's a reason, because here it is playing out, right?
Yeah.
Because now we've talked about them probing water supplies. We've talked about obviously probing how much research in universities, corporate research, that sort of thing. Here we are in a situation where basically air travel in the United States shut down for several hours this morning, last night into this morning. And I wake up at about 5 a.m. every day, and Twitter was alive with stories of people just telling how everything's been canceled. They're grounded everywhere. And it's because of this system called NOTAMS, which is called Notice to Air Missions. And I had to do a little research on this, and I will just quickly kind of brief you on what that basically means. And it's basically a system of who's taking off, where what planes are what weather's like. It's this notification system. It is a very antiquated system. A long time ago, it used to be a direct phone call between the pilot and wherever they were going that would analyze weather data, flight patterns, tell everybody like, okay, there's this much traffic. It is this system that basically says you are clear to fly your route, right?
Right. Kind of important when you got hundreds of planes in the air at one time.
Hundreds?
Sorry, thousands.
Tens of thousands, Ben. I believe over 21,000 flights were canceled in like 8 hours today. I don't have, this is not what the story that I was focusing on goes into. And this is an AP story from like about 3 hours ago. So it's probably the latest and greatest that we have. What this system is and has become has moved on to the internet and servers, right? But guess what? Those servers are probably about as old as I am, or at least to the point where they're completely end of life, out of date, but they work.
Right. And then of course the airlines are skimping. That was the last. They're putting off updating that stuff as long as they humanly possibly can, because that's what fucking corporations do.
Interesting enough, there was a bill submitted by Democrats in Congress in about, I think it was 2018, that had money set aside to, guess what, Ben? Update this system.
Oh, guess what? I bet that got blocked by a bunch of fucking Republicans. Shot down, in fact. Probably never even got brought to a vote.
You're right.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Imagine that. So here we have this antiquated system.
It's almost like, Brooks, I don't mean to cut you out here, but it's almost like if you were to disband the department that was overseeing pandemic preparedness, and you disbanded those people, and then a couple of years later, you had a pandemic.
It's like you're writing this shit.
Wouldn't that be weird? Oh, we got a bot. We have a bot.
I bought
a YouTube bot in the chat room. Free Vert Girls chat.
Free Vert Girls?
What is that?
Okay, so I appreciate the free thing, but I need to know what vert is before I decide if this is a good deal or not.
Yeah, now I gotta go. Now I gotta go look at that up. Look that up.
Oh man, I wouldn't touch that with
No.
no. Oh man, if you're gonna click on that, like Sex Boys, that's the name. That's gonna be the name of our underground trip hop punk band. We're gonna do this weird
Ooh,
fusion
I like
trip
that.
hop punk band called Sex Boys. You're gonna love it. Coming
I
to you.
love it already.
Yeah. So let's just get back a little bit to the story because it has some minor significance and it might even have some minor significance in global politics. Because Ben, I don't know if you know this or not, but we weren't the only country that had the same problem.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, our good friends to the north, Canada, had the same exact problem with the same exact system.
At the same time?
Shortly, right around the same time. I don't know if it's exactly the same time, but this is from
close
the
enough. Close enough
today. Put it like that.
Yeah.
This is from our good friends at the independent.co.uk. Canada's air traffic system suffered a similar outage to the one that occurred in the U.S. for a brief period on Wednesday. U.S. air travel was badly disrupted by the failure of the Federal Aviation Administration's Notice to Air Mission Systems, NOTAM, overnight on Tuesday, forcing a full ground stop domestic aviation on Wednesday morning, which actually hasn't happened since 9/11. Canada had the same problem, Ben.
Yeah. So this was obviously, I mean, is anybody saying that this was an attack on the system, or is everybody like, wow, this is a really weird coincidence?
So far, let's see. All authorities, and I've read multiple stories about both actually, and I don't know if the independent one quotes, but everybody's giving we don't think it's cyber attacks.
Oh, come on.
We don't think that blah, 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 which is exactly what I would say in a scenario. And to be honest with you, at this point, if I knew it was a cyber attack and we got depantsed like that, I'd be hesitant to it. Okay, so
it seems pretty obvious.
But hey, I've watched a crime movie or two, right? So if you're a really good detective, right, if you know the person that did it, but you don't have all of the solid evidence just yet, you don't pounce on them, right?
Right.
You wait until it's ironclad, or you're waiting and just kind of like, okay, we'll respond. But
that's interesting. It's one of those stories that'll probably be forgotten in a couple of weeks, but we'll be recalling in maybe a year, maybe two. We'll be going, hey, remember that story we did a couple of years back about that when all the airline flight that was the computer systems went down? Yeah, we're gonna be like, oh yeah, that now we're in the middle of a complete fucking shit show, and now we know that was just a test run.
Let me bring everybody back to some late night TV. I'm sure we've all experienced the phenomenon once or twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've all seen that commercial. It could be for knives. It could be for balloons. It could be for Tupperware. It could be for a chopping device that you'll never use because it's specific to like ripe artichokes. And you're like, oh, I don't know. But there's always the tagline. But wait, there's more. Ladies and gentlemen, in the UK today, from our friends at the BBC, the Royal Mail tells people not to send post abroad due to cyber incident. Now you got to be careful in the UK because if you say cyber men, it's a whole different thing. That is, of course, a Doctor Who reference.
Never seen it.
Oh yeah, they're frightening. Actually, Cybermen are actually frightening. Just personal opinion. Royal Mail has asked people to stop sending mail abroad due to a cyber incident causing severe disruption. It was working temporarily. I'm sorry. It said it was temporarily unable to send letters and parcels overseas. It was working hard to resolve the issue. There are also minor delays to post coming into the UK, but domestic deliveries are unaffected. Repeat, domestic deliveries are unaffected. The incident has been reported to the UK Cyber Intelligence Agency and police who deal with serious crime. Oh, really? Because we didn't hear that from the US government. And wait, they weren't fucking with the mail, were they? They were fucking with airplanes.
Yeah. There's again, tens of thousands of airplanes, and each of those airplanes has how many? An airplane, a 747 holds 100 plus people.
Oh, more like 150 to 200, I think, is like the something like the
So
average.
that's a lot of fucking people that, if there's not someone making sure that those planes don't fly into each other, or some program making sure, you'd think, like, how in the world in 2018 did they go, it's a bad idea for us to upgrade the fucking computer system that keeps the planes from flying into one another? How did they justify this is not an expense that is necessary? 100% necessary. I mean, I just don't. How do you justify that? How is a Republican, congressman, do you say, oh, I can't vote for that? Like, on what grounds, motherfucker?
I can't vote for that. No,
crazy.
No can do. I'm singing, I'm dancing all over these songs, but there's these are serious stories. Well, wait a minute.
Wait, there's more? God damn it, Brooks.
Within the last week, from Reuters, Russian hackers targeted U.S. nuclear scientists.
Oh, good. Wait, hold on. No.
Nope. This is definitely not the Ellie. Not even close to the Ellie, but still not the Ellie, but close maybe to the Ellie.
Right, but you could see why I could think that this might be, because this is the start of an Ellie type thing, is when hackers are targeting nuclear scientists.
A Russian hacking team known as Cold River targeted 3 nuclear research laboratories in the United States this past summer, according to internet records reviewed by Reuters and 5 cybersecurity experts. Between August and September, as Vladimir Putin indicated Russia would be willing to use nuclear weapons to defend its territory, Cold River targeted Brookhaven, Argonne, which is in Illinois, and Lawrence Livermore National Laboratories, according to internet records that showed hackers creating fake login pages for each institution and emailing nuclear scientists in a bid to make them reveal their passwords. Reuters was unable to determine why the labs were targeted. Well, no shit, Sherlock.
Dude, I mean, do we really? I mean, they're nuclear scientists. What? We don't know why they might have been hacked.
I can't speak.
Because they're nuclear fucking scientists, you fucking geniuses.
Just fucking Reuters. I can't speak for the other 2 laboratories, but Argonne National Laboratory, they've done some shit there, son. They helped build a first nuclear bomb there, man. It is a big deal. Argonne's a big deal. Right?
Unable. Like, what kind of reporters does Reuters have if they're unable to determine why some nuclear scientists might be targeted?
Nuclear. Like, look, I happen to know a lifelong electrician who did work at Argonne National Laboratories, and the man had to have security clearances. He had to go through like stages of security because they do important shit there. They have important, really smart people there that deal with things on a level of national security that we can't even imagine at this point.
Yeah.
Cold River has escalated its hacking campaign against Kyiv's allies since the invasion of Ukraine, according to cybersecurity researchers and Western government officials. The digital blitz against the U.S. labs occurred as UN experts entered Russian-controlled Ukrainian territory to inspect Europe's biggest atomic power plant and assess the risk of what both sides said could be a devastating radiation disaster amid heavy shelling nearby. Chernobyl. So, I think we have conclusively laid out a case against hacking. I'm not saying what happened today was just the Russians, because North Korea is pretty sharp at this. China is most certainly sharp at this. And then you have these satellite operations, because there are known cyber shops in like Romania and some of the odd, smaller, still Soviet era Russia friendly states in Europe. We don't know really where it came from, but circumstantial evidence points in one direction, Ben. Just one. So we're not going to bore you with any more of this stuff, but we do have to kind of, normally I think we talked about a long time ago, and this is probably now 5 months, and we're getting close to at least 5 months of the turmoil, the revolution going on in Iran. I don't have any stories about that. We definitely want to still acknowledge that they are definitely still executing people. They are still murdering and beating people in the streets, and it's terrible. Sometimes I think we just have to kind of focus on what's going on here. And I'm not that guy, right? We spend most of our shows talking about what's going on outside our last week we talked about what was going on in the House of Representatives. And it kind of got weird, and then it was even weirder, and then it got even more weird. I think it got to 14 or 15 votes. One of those votes was from this guy. We have not had a chance to introduce properly George Santos, if in fact that is his real name.
And you know what? I am highly skeptical that his name is really George Santos. Not going to lie. I don't know what this guy's deal is, but I know that nothing about what he has purported himself to be or is believable in any way, shape, or form. This guy looks like a guy on SNL playing a goofball that has been voted representative of the state of New York. He doesn't look like a real guy that has been elected for. He looks like a cartoon character come to life. I don't know. Nothing about him seems real, Brooks. And he's also the number 4 seed in the next year's punchable face tournament.
Oh man, 4 seed is seriously undervaluing him as a dark horse.
Maybe
if you really want to set that, I think you put him 6 or 8, and you say like this guy's got a dark horse chance, and you bet all the money on it.
He looks like a Fred Armisen. That's who I was thinking of. He looks like Fred Armisen playing a guy who was who has been lying about who he is and is elected to Congress. Yeah.
So we haven't really had a chance to introduce ourselves to Mr. Santos. And at this point, since he's been sworn in, I know just today, actually yesterday, 2 Democrats from New York walked an ethics complaint over to his office. Not that matters, because Speaker McCarthy is gutting the Congressional Ethics Office, which is really cool. I don't know what you achieve from that other than corruption running rampant, but cool.
Oh yeah, I mean that was part of the deal. Like, we'll vote for you, but you got to get rid of this thing that holds us accountable. Yeah,
right. So yeah, and he does. I was gonna say that Aunt Chris chiming in perfectly. He does. He dresses like a priest, yet he's got his right hand up in almost like a Sieg Heil motion, and he kind of looks like the villain from Raiders of the Lost Ark, like just like. Heil Hitler. And you almost expect to see like the Staff of Ra medallion on his hand burned in.
I'm telling you, he looks like a movie character or a TV character. He's not real.
In his left hand he's just playing the circle game, Brooks and Ben. What are you talking about? That is a white supremacist symbol that has been displayed all the way up to the presidential's staffing room, debriefing room, the press room, by many individuals. You don't have to look and search the internet too hard to find out who exactly throws that up. And if you're somebody that claims a weird interracial background and Jewishness, you would never throw that symbol up there. You just wouldn't.
I'm telling you, there's if this doesn't end with George Santos being shamefully booted from his seat as a representative in the state of New York for lying, and his name is really Jim Smith, and he's from fucking South Carolina or some shit. There's just no way that this guy is he's not real. That is not a real person.
He has a warrant. He has a warrant for his arrest in Brazil, which we haven't even had a chance to talk about Brazil. We might not actually get a chance to, but like, shout out to Brazil, who had the January 6th of their own, but I don't even have a story for that yet, because that situation's sorting itself out. But here we have, George Santos thrown up and sitting next to, of all people, figure, MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene. And if anything, George Santos is probably a soft-brained weirdo who easily got drug into some form of compromising situation that was recorded or whatever, right? Easily got set up and blackmailed, because all he probably really wants is attention and make you feel important. Oh, there's money in. I could be that's what I see from that.
There
picture.
were some great stories about like his first day on the job, where he is like sitting by himself on his phone because like nobody wants to talk to him and no one wants to associate with him. So he then goes to like the head goofball, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and starts like, hey Marjorie, and she's looking for anybody that's willing to talk to her, right? And you're like, and she's like, oh, you're willing to talk to me? Well, yes, I'll talk to you. Let me tell you about my harebrained schemes. He
first tried hanging out with Matt Gaetz. He could, and he was, and God bless, C-SPAN.
Even Matt Gaetz was like, this guy's too fucking weird.
He literally did. There was a certain point where like he was no longer seen next to Matt Gaetz, and now that we know that Gaetz and Greene were literally dead set against each other and opponents in who should be voted as Speaker of the House. You see what Santos did. He wanted to be seen with Gaetz. He was trying to get into that camp, and he wasn't seen with them anymore. So where does he go? He got attracted to the other side, the seat of power.
Imagine you're so weird that Matt Gaetz is like, get this fucking guy away from me.
Of all people, Mr. Captain Venmo.
Right there. Lauren Boebert is like his right hand man right now. Like,
well,
so if that doesn't throw you off, that the guy who's got Lauren Boebert next to him thinks you're too fucking weird to be hanging out with him, how fucking weird must you be?
Well, I'm glad you brought it up, Ben, because through our sources at C-SPAN, we have exclusive video and audio of the conversation that was had between not quite yet Speaker McCarthy and Congresspersons Gaetz and Boebert, and I think the video speaks for itself, to be honest with you.
Son, what does a gopher build? Can you say it? Well, who knows? A really rich doctor said you were a bummer. And I think you don't know algebra. No, we're talking science, bud. The science of what? Is that a tiger? One of your friends promised me I could flick you in your face. Absolutely, you may not do that.
Hit him in his cringy smirk, for real.
Say any cereal name. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You're like people in the 12th century. Why'd he say it like that? You're a formulated pickle popper.
He's a storm cloud.
I don't like you, dude. And there's a tiger. That's it. You two guys sent the tiger. What?
I did not me.
What tiger? That is reprehensible.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Brad?
I'm a horrible person.
Brad, I'll report you to Nadine. I just want your leg bones to be okay. I brought the tiger. Really, you got somebody on the organ there? Hey, man, you're going to pay for dinner. You're going to pay.
Was that a tiger? from the floor of the House of Representatives, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a shame because, of course, they passed the rules package, and now C-SPAN will no longer.
Legitimate tears.
C-SPAN will
my
no
God.
longer be able to bring us such exclusive footage from the floor of our Congress.
Is that a tiger?
Is that a tiger? I brought the tiger.
You're gonna pay for two.
Flick him in his stupid smirk face. Yeah. Is that?
Oh, oh man, that was
We'd
so
like to bring
fucking
it
funny.
here, ladies and gentlemen.
That is one of the funniest things I've seen in a long fucking time. Holy shit. Those are so good. The ones they do with the NFL stuff are hilarious too.
You don't know algebra.
You don't know algebra.
A doctor told me you were a real bummer. What? Okay, we're just stroking ourselves now at this point, right? Well, we got more videos to show you.
Okay.
This is not the alley, but I guess it could be the alley. But by the time this happens to our son, we won't be around anyway. So this is not the alley. That's actually Beetlejuice.
What?
That's actually the name of a red supergiant. I wanted to make sure I wasn't saying dwarf. I wanted to make sure I said red supergiant. It is so far away that this animation that we're about to watch took 7 years of data to create.
Oh, wow.
Now we're gonna talk scale. We're gonna talk everything. But what you're watching, because of the I guess the very low density of what's going on now inside of a red giant like that, those ripples and those waves that you're seeing stretch out millions of miles from the star. And this is a quote from a study that was released by astronomers Pierre Kervella and Dr. Bernard Freytag. This is a quote from their study. If Betelgeuse were our star, its surface would lie beyond the asteroid belt, and it would engulf the orbits of Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars.
And this is not the Ellie, Brooks?
No, because this is going to happen to our star, but not for billions of years. There's no chance life on Earth, as we know it, survives billions of years. If we do it right, which there's
zero chance we do
it. Very little indication we're going to reach that.
Yeah, we're not kidding.
We might be able to come back and visit one day, but I wouldn't bet on that. And the next link I've sent you is to just truly get a scale for the distances here. And I'm going to try something with this link, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try sharing it with everybody because I don't know that we can post links.
Yes, send me the link in the chat, and then I can then beam it out to everybody in the big chat.
Then it will be the link that you already have after this one. Starts with joshworth.com.
Yep. All right, so
Mr. Josh Worth set up a website that describes the distances between the sun and the planets. If that is not a bot, the host, that's a good link, folks. I have it up on my screen right now, and Ben will probably put it up here. You can click on it just to give you a scale of what the solar system is like if our moon was just 1 pixel on your screen. So right now you can kind of scroll across, and if you squint real hard, you can see where they're showing you where the 1 pixel is. That's the comparison between the sun and the moon, size-wise. For the record, the moon is... Oh, wait. Where'd that link go? Oh, no. Wait. Yeah, I mean, Ben, just go for it. Keep scrolling. Because the distances are
pretty empty out here.
Insane.
Mercury is a little speck.
It's slightly, and if you look down, Ben, if you on the screen, if you see where it says kilometers down there, you can actually click the arrow and change it to miles. So Mercury is 36 million miles from the sun. We are approximately 93 million miles from the sun. So the space between Mercury and the next planet, which should be Venus, we were at 35, we're at 36 million miles, and now we're at 60.
Jesus. There we go.
There's Venus, and that's a hellhole because of the proximity to the sun.
And that's a hellhole.
It's a terrible planet. Like, I can't imagine anything surviving on that, but there probably is, and it's terrifying.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Third stone from the sun, ladies and gentlemen. There is the little speck, the 1 pixel of the moon. The comparison of size. So just like, man, remember what the sun looked like?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was fucking huge.
That's the size comparison between our planet, where we think driving to the next state, or shit, even driving across half of your state, Ben. It's like, oh, yeah, fuck, that's exhausting.
Dude, it is. Yeah.
That's
and it's a
fucking thing. Now, we're going to keep scrolling out because we want to go past Mars, and that's the next planet. Remember, we are at 93 million miles, and now we're just about to cross 140. There's Mars. If Betelgeuse were in the center of our solar system, that would be gone too. So now we're about 150 million. I don't know if he describes and puts in the asteroid belt, but somewhere in this vicinity and between these two planets, Jupiter's next, we're at 200 million miles away from the sun.
Still, that's oh God, this is really long.
So now this is where
the next planet is a lot.
This is where the Kuiper asteroid belt exists, right? And that's the remnants of a planet that was shattered in the early stages of the solar system. Or maybe not so early.
It's still going 300 million miles. What was Mars?
Like 130.
Still going 330, 340.
Again, the website is described as a painfully accurate scale model of the solar system.
360, 370, 380. Holy shit, dude. My hand is getting tired.
Yep. And it would take approximately 7 to 8 months for a human being in a rocket ship to get to Mars. One-way trip.
It would take how long again? Say that again?
7 to 9 months, somewhere in there. Probably settle around 8 months, let's call
it. Dude, perspective, dude. Like it's like we've talked about before with numbers. Like, people don't understand what a billion of anything truly is. Like, it's hard to envision what $1 billion bills looks like. It's a lot of fucking dollar bills.
Right, because the accumulation of the numbers below it, right? Because it's really easy to say 1 billion, 1 million, but like, you need to see the zeros, but it really helps to see the numbers below. Like when you see 999,999,999 $100. Like, wait, the idea of like, okay, so the Illinois, what is it, the Powerball? It just
it's all over the country, but yes. It's
okay,
3 billion, right?
1.3 billion, right? The numbers behind that is absolutely stupid and sick.
Yeah,
we can't appreciate that. We just can't. It's just so vast, just insane.
And this is just another way of showing the vastness and just how huge. My hand literally got tired just from scrolling the distance between Mars and Jupiter. It's 300 million plus miles.
It wouldn't be the surface, because I guess and Aunt Chris is asking a couple questions about the scale for Betelgeuse and from the sun to the asteroid. I guess it would encompass Mars. I don't know how much of the asteroid belt then it would kind of get to, but it was more like how how we have solar flares, that is kind of the state of the red giant, because it's lost, it's losing its mass. It's completely on the inside, it's getting more and more hollow. So these explosions are breaking free of that gravitational center a little bit more and more, and are going out further before they get a little too weak and run out of juice, and then they get pulled back in. So while we see solar flares, yes, and I think Ryan Henson mentioned it too, that they're basically just ginormous solar flares, but they're in these weird folds. And again, like, it's so far away that we can't have any direct observation of it. This is 7 years of data from like stereo telescopes and all infrared, like all like the entire like 7 years of as much data as they could get into the simulator to see like, oh wow, this is what's out there. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Crazy. Again, makes it kind of a little petty that we're arguing or squabbling over things the way we do as a species. But sometimes there are echoes of the past that remind us of things that used to be. And sometimes those things baffle us until this very day. And this was actually sent to us from our good friend, Ryan Henson.
Like, who's like the newest, like, third contributor to the show.
Absolutely. You should get writing credits if we actually had post-show credits.
If we had post-show credits, he would get a writing credit. Yeah, or a producing credit of some sort. Yeah.
Yes. We don't. So sorry, pal.
Sorry, but just know that if we did, we would totally put you in there.
We totally put you in there, but you can't put it on your resume because it just doesn't happen. So the ruins of Rome. This is a beautiful story from the dreaded CNN that goes on to describe the mystery of why these Roman monuments and buildings have lasted more than 2,000 years, which again is a number that is baffling to even consider for our brains right now too, right? Think about 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago. It's 23 AD, right? What's going on? There's a lot of horses and a lot of chariots.
Right.
A lot of swords and shields.
Yeah. Lots of people fighting tigers and shit.
There are no accoutrements. There's no air conditioning. There's no heat besides the fire. No indoor plumbing. None of it. Nothing. Life is completely different. Yet, the Romans seem to figure out a way to make things that lasted this long and continue to weather. So, the weather, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Pun not intended, but perfect.
From CNN. Roman concrete in many cases has proven to be longer lasting than its modern equivalent, which can deteriorate within decades. Now, scientists behind a new study say they have uncovered the mystery ingredient that allowed Romans to make their construction materials so durable and build elaborate structures in challenging places such as docks, sewers, and earthquake zones. I'll kind of summarize what's going on here. But what they've found, and they go in to describe what concrete is. It is... well, let's see. It's a bunch of stuff mixed together. But it has this thing called lime clasts, which are chunks of lime, right? As opposed to finely ground lime and finely ground materials, this Roman concrete has what they call lime clasts. And it's this wetted and heated limestone mixture with the concrete. They basically use the same stuff. It's like crushed stone, cement, sand, kind of larger gravel. That's like kind of modern concrete with some limestone in there, and you got to keep it at a certain temperature to kind of obviously keep it moist, or whatever they call that. What they found is that for a long time they thought it was really poor, and just like they didn't know how to crush it, they didn't know how to properly mix the concrete, but they found these chunks of like activated limestone, which took heat and water inside all of the concrete mixes. The limestone apparently repairs cracks that appear in the concrete. So the scientists did a test. Scroll down. Hold on. They made 2 samples of concrete, one following the Roman formulation and the other made to modern standards, and deliberately cracked them. After 2 weeks, water could not flow through the concrete made with a Roman recipe, whereas it passed right through a chunk of concrete made without the quicklime. The findings suggest that the lime clasts can dissolve into cracks and recrystallize after exposure to water, healing cracks created by weathering before they spread. The researchers said this self-healing potential could pave the way for to producing more long-lasting and thus more sustainable modern concrete. Such a move would reduce concrete's carbon footprint, which accounts for about 8% of global greenhouse gas emissions, according to the study. Self-healing concrete.
Which sounds great, but Brooks, there's a couple of comments in the, they should, Brian Hansen says they need to get this recipe back in use. Here's the thing. They're never going to put this Roman recipe into use. It's done on purpose because there's a reason why they use asphalt to build roads when they know it's going to deteriorate and eventually break and need to be fixed, because it's all part of the deal where the builders say, yeah, we'll build the roads, but we're only going to build them in a material that we know is going to deteriorate, that you'll have to employ us to come back and fix later on and fill in the potholes, right? It's all, and this is a legitimate thing. Like they legitimately and purposefully use materials that they know are going to deteriorate after a certain amount of time. It's done on purpose because they know it's to generate money for the people that fix the shit. It's a greedy fucking game, but that's really what it is. That's why we have roads that have potholes in them. There are materials that we could build roads out of that are far more durable than asphalt and concrete, but we don't on purpose.
Greed sucks. Brian Hansen gets a quote.
He also says, think 2,000 years from now, how much current shit would still be around. Mount Rushmore, maybe. And I've mentioned this before. I've read this and heard this in numerous places. But if humans went extinct tomorrow, I think it would be something like a couple of thousand years before the planet itself would take back over, right? Like plants would take over, and literally cars would disintegrate, buildings would disintegrate and come down. And in a few thousand years, this planet, you would have almost no idea that our civilization existed outside of things like Mount Rushmore and the pyramids and some of these giant structures that have stood the test of time.
That are made out of
Rock.
Stone,
Yeah.
rock, and odd stones and rock. But we talked about that stuff too.
Chicago City streets are made out of paper
mache. I like Soylent Asphalt as people. I think the shout out to the Thunderdome. You guys are alive tonight. I like it.
Soylent Asphalt is the name of our book.
Soylent Asphalt will be the name of our coffee table book.
Yes, just pictures of potholes.
It'll be we can't do a coffee table book about coffee tables because that's already been done.
No, it'll be a coffee table book of pictures of potholes.
That'll be it. We'll make it like 3D too. It'll be cool. I put some glasses on, you can see the it's like real
that's a really big pothole. Holy
wow! Look at, they really got that asphalt right.
I bet somebody's rims were really fucked up on that one.
Hell yeah, bro! That's fucked up a lot of there's probably the tire shop across the street. That's the Chicago way.
Yes, exactly. Giant pothole right across the street from a fucking tire place.
So let's talk about something completely different.
Okay.
Something that could be the alley, but it's not the alley.
Jesus.
But we could nominate this guy. We can nominate this fella for Topic Thunder pet of the show. Show
sure?
pet.
Show pet.
Melody viridis is this next video you're going to see. Melody viridis is feeding with its expandable net-like oral hood.
Oral hood. Also.
Oral hood.
That's the name of our autobiography.
Where'd you grow up?
As a team. The Topic Thunder autobiography, Oral Hood.
Oral hood. Expandable net-like oral hood. Look at this thing. It's alive. It's on this planet. This thing lives here.
It's in the water. That's why we should never go in the water.
Look at this thing. It's beautiful and terrifying and freakishly odd, but like, holy shit, look at that. That's how it eats. It's just a scavenger. It's adapted over time that's where it found the most food. So I'm gonna grow fucking 10 legs and a weird 3-fingered tail and this oral hood. And we're gonna make it, pal. We're gonna make it, buddy.
Yeah. We're gonna evolve, motherfucker.
This thing has no idea that human beings exist.
None. We'd be shocked to know.
It has no idea.
It would be equally as shocked as we are at it.
Right. You'd be like, wait, and what? You guys don't have oral hoods?
Wait, you only have 4 appendages?
You don't have a tail with 3 fingers on it? Oh, that was a tiger. Hey, Ben, this next story, also nature related, sent to us by our good friend Tipton Moscow.
Yes, that guy did.
This guy hits on all the notes.
Yes, this is awesome. This is
we do. We get a lot of stories now from KCBDM. KCBD.
Yes, ironically, out of Lubbock, Texas. Weird.
But this is from Plainville, Connecticut. Hello. We know this is the time of year that bears hibernate, but imagine finding one camping out right in your own backyard.
No, I can't imagine.
A family in Plainville, Connecticut, hello, discovered a black bear taking refuge under their deck. The bear had been there for several weeks. The family is following guidance from state environmental officials, and he's welcome to stay for a while.
That's the most incredible part of the whole story.
It was a walk outside that turned into a crazy encounter about 2 weeks ago. This is a quote from Vincent Dashukovich. My dog started growling. That's when my girlfriend got scared and ran into the house. I turned my head and saw the bear, and we were staring right at each other. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yes. I would imagine bear encounters are...
Here's the quote of the fucking week right here, though.
The Shukovich said the bear hadn't done much, but lounge around so far. He's massive, yeah, but he's super chill. Let's just say you caught the bear at the right time. They said to leave him alone. Let him be as long as he's not creating a disturbance or bothering anybody, Dashukovich said. Jason Howley, a wildlife biologist with deep, I don't know what deep
that is, but it sounds like an evil organization.
Determined to rule the world.
The wildlife biologist.
Right?
For some reason, this evil organization has a wildlife biologist.
They're done. They're tired of it. They're done with all your conservative. They're like, it's not about because we're going to wipe out human life so all the other life can work. It's like the poison ivies aspect from like a Batman. Fuck you, humans. It's the plants' time. We get about 15 to 20 calls a year about bears denning under decks and porches. What?
Talk about burying the headline.
What? What? What's going on in this town?
What is going on?
What are you salting? Are you keeping salted fish and meats in your basement underneath your deck? Are you?
Was Otis Wilson under his deck?
Black bear, super chill.
Yeah, but Otis Wilson was a super chill black bear. Yes. Oh my god.
The reach has been crazy.
Yes, I do. I think they're burying.
See, that's why she's Amy Cleaver, ladies and gentlemen. But
That's what's unbelievable to me is that okay, you walk out of your house tomorrow. You don't have a house, you have an apartment, but so it's not the same. But I don't have a back deck, so I can't relate to it either. But let's just say we live in a house with a back deck in Connecticut, and we walk outside and we see a fucking bear under our fucking deck, and we're like, well, I gotta call somebody. Somebody's got to come get this bear from out underneath my fucking deck. Big Cat Williams.
Hey, Joe, Lockport Joe.
Just naming black guys that played for the Bears that seemed chill. I lost my track. Oh, so you call the authorities,
sure.
Right? You call the authorities, whoever the authority is, like animal control. That's probably where I would start. Animal control is like, well, we don't deal with bears. So here's the number to this wildlife guy, this wildlife biologist over at this evil organization Deep, and you call him, and the guy at Deep goes, just fucking leave that bear be. And so you just got to live your life with a hibernating bear just hanging out under your fucking deck for months, and then when it wakes up, what the fuck happens?
Well, that's the question then, right? So I actually found out what DEEP stands for.
Okay.
It's the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection.
Okay.
And now I'm even more confused because I don't know how those two go hand in hand at all.
More confusing people.
I'm so confused. But this dude Howley, okay, so all right, you're freaked out, right? And rightfully so. Hey man, there's a bear sleeping underneath my porch, right? He hasn't done anything yet, but I'm gonna call
the fucking bear, so it's probably gonna at some point.
The first thing you do is call the police, right? Police
yes.
We don't deal with bears. We only shoot people. So then you're calling like, all right, so who do I call? We don't know. We just shoot people. So I don't know. You start calling the state government? I don't know. Do you call your alderman, your representative, and they're like, you need to call Deep.
Right?
Yes, I do. What's Deep? Well, that's the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection. That sounds legit to me. Who do I call? Call this guy. His name's Howley. All right, cool. Hey, Howley. Yep. It's the Shukovich.
Yes.
We got a bear.
Ooh.
He's sleeping underneath my porch.
Yeah, that's tough. Here's what I'm gonna need you to do. I'm gonna need you to just leave it alone.
We get 15 to 20 calls about this a year.
15 to 20 of these calls a year.
Don't worry about it.
Leave the bear alone. He's cool.
We know what we're doing. Yeah. We know what we're doing.
Yeah. The whole thing is preposterous.
Again, I think in the text I sent you, I was like, you know what? This is so ridiculous. And if I was the family, I try to make friends with the bear. Ride salmon, and eventually be able to mount the bear and ride him in the town.
Put a saddle on him. Could you imagine? And just saddle up a bear and you ride into town. You own that bitch. That's it.
That's all I can ask for from where are we again? Saddlebrook, from Plainville, Connecticut.
By the way, comment of the fucking day goes to Joe. Meanwhile, Cocaine Bear would be Alonzo Spellman.
Oh, Joe's throwing it all. Joe's making Chicago Bear jokes on a meta level right now, ladies and gentlemen. It is something to see.
It's like seriously, like just for me and you, he's throwing this out. Like it's an audience of two.
Can't wait for that Cocaine Bear thing though.
Oh, that movie looks excellent. I don't go to the theater very often, but I might go to the theater for Cocaine Bear.
That is definitely a theater where it just, you go out, maybe have a drink or two, get your, whatever, or, edibles, whatever.
There's a place here right by the house that serves alcohol at the place. So I may get a little liquored up and go watch Cocaine.
Yeah, I don't know how you go into that sober. Just straight up.
Why even bother? It doesn't seem like a movie you should be watching sober.
A Thunderdome field trip.
Oh man, could you imagine?
We're gonna rent a small theater and that's it. What do you want? What do you want? We got $3,500 for you to show on a Tuesday night. Cocaine Bear.
To me and 35 of my friends.
That's it. We got money. We need your theater. Hey, there was a mention last week. I think it was from Billy Wack, and I don't think he's here. But again, another story from Ryan Hansen. There was a mention of a flying car.
Yes, I saw this on the news.
And now there's a flying car.
Yeah.
I think we could just show this video from our good friends at IFL Signs. I fucking love signs. Which
if we gave producer credits, we would also give producer credits to IFL Signs.
Curtis Enos. Oh man, Joe's going crazy.
Right.
But yes, there's actually a flying car in a YouTube video that proves it. Of course, with kind of cool music and all that kind of fun stuff. But even if we don't show the video, folks,
we will. I got it. Give me less than 2 seconds.
Has a patent pending. SkyDrive.
By the way, Cedric Benson also Super Children.
If Jay Cutler wasn't stoned, I don't know.
He's not a black guy. I want.
作って壊した分だけ経験と知識がたまって前に進むんだよ。
何があっても優先されなければいけないのは安全事項、安全性なので、
自分たちの手で切り開いていけてるというその
Tell me about safety. Tell me what you're fucking doing with a flying car.
Right.
I don't care. I know the risks.
I know what I'm getting into.
I know what I'm getting into.
I just want to get where I'm going fast.
Well, folks, they're working on a flying car. All right. Get him in there. Strap him in. Got like vertical takeoff. SkyDrive.
It's not really conducive to taking your family on a road trip.
Hey guys, look. It works.
It seems like something Elon Musk would buy as like a van.
And ruin.
Suddenly he's gonna be like, yeah, I came with this great idea. This company, SkyDrive.
SkyDrive.
People are gonna be like, wait a minute, wasn't there the Japanese company? Yeah. No, it was my idea.
All right. I'm gonna fire everybody who had anything to do with the creation of this and go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you've been waiting for it. Here it is. This was a last minute. I mean, sent in the last 10 minutes before.
Really, it was right before airtime. Yeah.
Your Ellie, ladies and gentlemen. This is from ABC News. I've heard they're reputable.
Raymond here.
Ultra back. Ladies and gentlemen, a rare green comet will pass by Earth starting this week.
Oh, good.
I'm not sure how many folks in the Thunderdome are familiar with the Stephen King book and subsequent movie called Maximum Overdrive.
I'm not.
Oh, well, man, if we probably went for the trailer, we'd get banned in Canada again by Universal or something like that. Let me just give you a brief synopsis of Maximum Overdrive.
Okay.
A rare comet passes by Earth, and Earth then enters the trail of dust from the comet. making every machine on the planet become alive and sentient.
Oh, okay.
This included tanker trucks, army vehicles, airplanes, everything, right? Until Earth passed through the comet tail.
Yeah, that's
I
funny.
left out one detail of the comet in Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive. It was green.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're fucked. We are
Damn
so fucked right now.
Yeah.
If it's not Russian hackers or Chinese hackers or North Korean hackers or hackers from Damascus probing nuclear secrets, it's the fucking universe itself slinging shit our way that's going to mess us all up. There is a rare green comet that will pass by the planet this week. They call the planet C2022E3ZTF. I don't know. We're just going to call it Charlie.
All right.
I don't know. We could Ezekiel.
Easier.
I don't know. I'm amenable to a discussion about the name of the
Green
comet.
comet sounds like a comic you find in the quarterback.
The green comet. If you're looking at the night skies over the next month and make out a tiny green light in the sky, don't panic. Aliens haven't landed. That's just going to be your blender attacking you. No, that's not what the story says.
I think that is your car coming to life, and
Right.
not a cool Knight Rider.
No, that is Alexa telling you how it's going to suffocate you in the middle of the night. Hello, Ben. I'm going to slowly drain the life from your throat. A rare green comet is expected to pass by Earth this week and will be visible in the night sky for nearly a month, according to NASA and astronomers. Comet C22E3ZTF, yeah, we should call it Ezekiel, was discovered last March. Wait a minute. Let's repeat that. This comet, which is going to whiz by our planet, was discovered less than 1 year ago.
And they're just telling us about it now?
It was discovered last March when it was already inside the orbit of Jupiter. It's distinguishable by its green glow. I'm weirded out by the wording of this story. It's like, hey, take a look at this thing. It's going to be your impending doom. NASA scientists said the comet is expected to make its closest approach to the sun, or perihelion, on January 12th, which will be visible to stargazers in the northern hemisphere. The reason that's important is because the comet is what they call a dirty ice ball, right? So as you can see just from the picture you have up right there, where the sun's position is right now in relation to the comet's tail, or the bright a 90-degree angle of dust behind it. The sun's in front of that, so the radiation and solar wind from the sun pushes the comet's tail away from the sun. So as this thing is floating by us, it's going to push the tail away from us. That's what they call the perihelion. Those in the southern hemisphere are able to see the comet in February. Cool. Comets are notoriously unpredictable, but if this one continues on its current trend in brightness, it's easy to spot with binoculars and just possible to see with the unaided eye under dark skies.
And they're just telling us about this now. Known about it for a year, just breaking it to us now. That it might crash into us and end all life on Earth.
And think about this now. We were just, Ben, you just said you got carpal tunnels from scrolling, showing the distance between the Earth and Jupiter, right?
Uh-huh.
And this thing was in Jupiter's orbit, and is probably, I don't know how fast it's going, but we talked about
fast if it's taking a year to go 300 million miles.
That's about right, huh? No worries there, folks. Nothing to see here. It wasn't a hacking job or anything like that up in the front of the show. Don't worry about this green comet that may or may not like have anything to do with robots and machines becoming alive. Don't worry about it because Emilio Estevez, star of Maximum Overdrive, is still alive and will lead us to a glorious victory over our would-be machine overlords.
Action star Emilio Estevez.
Noted action star Emilio Estevez. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we leave you with just one option. Participate in the lightning round or go home, which you probably already had if you're watching the show comfortably. You're at home, but hey, thanks for signing up for the lightning round. It is the most popular segment on this podcast in which my father now watches and participates and is one of the in the circle of VIPs, very important parents that populate the Thunderdome. Folks, if you're not familiar with what we do here for the lightning round, it's quite simple. 3 stories enter the Thunderdome. 1 gets read and it's chosen by you, the people. So without dilly or dally, headline number 1. Fugitive cows in Quebec captured after months on the run.
Okay.
Headline number 2. Man arrested after being recognized wearing underwear as mask in porch pirate cases.
Okay. All right.
And headline number 3. Air India slammed for systemic failure after unruly male passenger flying business class urinated on a woman traveling from New York.
Oh, geez.
And that's it. Those are your 3 headlines to choose from, ladies and gentlemen, as I grab my contabulation device, which I
Real quick, Maud Jordan, I don't think is joining us this evening. She had a medical procedure this afternoon, and I think is recovering. So, positive vibes. She's doing well. So
okay.
Nothing wrong. She's feeling better, doing well. It was to make life easier for her. It was the procedure, not that anything is terribly wrong, but to just make life a little bit more comfortable.
Right.
She won't be joining us, but thoughts. Oh no, she is there. Oh, she's here.
Jordan in the house. We got the VIPs.
Hello in the beginning, but there she is. I spoke out of turn.
Well, all positive vibes to Ma Jordan as you recover. But hey, we got to vote for number 3 from Billy Wack. We're gonna kind of scroll down here and kind of catch up on our votes.
Biz and Adrian are going with number 2. CJ's going with number 1. It looks
Amy
like.
Cleaver's going with number 1. And we're waiting for more votes as they come in. Again, I guess we should just go over the headlines one more time for those just starting to catch up.
Ma Jordan putting in her vote for number 2.
Number 2.
And
Headline.
Number 2.
Oh, God, we're moving right along in the voting here. Headlines number 1. Fugitive cows in Quebec captured after months on the run. I see that vote from Dad F. and Brooks. Headline number 2. Man arrested after being recognized wearing underwear as mask in porch pirate cases. And headline number 3. Air India slammed for systemic failure after unruly male passenger flying business class urinated on a woman traveling from New York.
For the first time, I don't know if we'll allow it, but a vote has been rescinded after the second reading of the headlines. Billy Wack is taking back his vote for number 3 and is now going officially with number 1. Although, unfortunately, it's in vain because I don't think number 1 is going to win. Number 2 seems to be a runaway. We do have alternate headlines from our boy Ryan Hansen. Escape from Quebec, G-string bandit, and piss poor service.
Always a good time. The lightning round remix.
I guess we're gonna.
We are.
We're
gonna do it. I've officially squiggled out your vote for number 3 and moved it unceremoniously to number 1. But it's
number
really
2. Also, Ryan Van Hansen voting for number 2 as well.
So
I think we've got a runaway winner this week.
We do by a vote of 2-1, basically. Underwear face, Batman's 15th most lethal villain.
He's a member of Deep.
He is a member of Deep. He's a biologist that's just gone the wrong way. Ladies and gentlemen, you voted. Here it is. Man arrested for being recognized wearing underwear as a mask in porch pirate cases. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hello. The Tulsa Police Department has arrested an alleged porch pirate with an unusual and questionably effective mask, according to the Tulsa Police Department, TBD. TBD said they were made aware of a porch pirate case in West Tulsa on January 6th. According to TBD, they were provided with surveillance images of the suspect. You know what, Ben? Hold on.
I'm on it. Don't worry.
All right, cool. That was from fox23.com, just to let you know. According to TPD, they were provided with surveillance images of the suspect, and the flock safety system helped find the vehicle's suspect. TPD also said an officer recognized the suspect from previous porch pirate cases where the suspect was wearing women's underwear as a mask. According to TPD. You got it? If you don't have the link, I will be happy to send it to you.
I don't know if it's the same one, but this is just at least images.
This is not how you wear underwear, ladies and gentlemen. Not that I have a lot of experience. A lot. According to TPD, they went to the suspect. That looks like Dave. That looks like Sailor Dave.
It does look like, oh my God.
Holy shit.
It looks like Sailor Dave if he's had like a really rough 5 or 6 years.
Fuck you. Give me a neck tattoo.
Tell me that.
Do it.
Sailor Dave.
Shut it.
And I could totally see Sailor Dave trying to rob people's porch packages with underwear on his
with red women's underwear on his face. They went to the TPD went to the suspect's home west of downtown Tulsa, knocked on the door, saw the suspect. TPD said Spencer Googler remained inside the home and would not talk to officers. Hey, are you that robber who wears underwear on his head? Not talking to you. According to TPD, a search warrant for the home was obtained and signed. After the warrant was signed, Googler exited the home. He was arrested for 5 counts of larceny, knowing, concealing stolen property, and grand larceny. Nothing for having the world's most piss-poor Bane mask and the unfortunate crime of looking like Sailor Dave.
That's his worst.
That's
crime.
it. You were unfortunately cursed from birth, Spencer Googler.
That's again a joke for like 4 people listening that even know who Sailor Dave is.
It's okay. It's good enough. It's good enough. And at this point, we need to send him, and more importantly, we need to send his wife this story.
Yeah, it's like, what is your husband doing on his off?
Has Sailor Dave been to Tulsa, Oklahoma lately?
Because if he had,
we might have something for you. That was it, ladies and gentlemen. Topic Thunder for this Wednesday, which almost didn't happen actually because I didn't get out of work until like 5:30. Nuts today. But hey, you made it. We made it. And what I think was this is a good show. As always, the conversation lively. Holy smokes, the chat room it was just absolutely lit today. So, the Thunderdome alive and well, and that is again the backbone, the lifeblood of Topic Thunder, the Thunderdome. Folks, we can't thank you enough if you watch us on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, wherever you are tuning in. We appreciate it. We do this every Wednesday at 7 p.m. My name is Brooks, and that's Ben. Ben also hosts the well, Ben, I'll let you.
Nameless Retro Wrestling Show. We're actually going to do it this week. Nick Cutler's coming back. We're going to kick it at old school. We watch adult WWF house show from 1988.
From US
Bad News Brown versus Hulk Hogan.
Oh, from USS Rapapa.